Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the number one thing that's going to make you faster on F125. It's not setups, it's not tire pressures, it's not how you warm up your tires. It's all about driving style and minimizing mistakes. So for the first time, Team Telemetry now has a free live telemetry software that it used to be only on Racelabs, where you could see your live inputs on screen display. That used to be like $50 on from Racelabs. Now Team Telemetry has an option that is completely free. I'm going to show you how to set it up, and I'm going to show you how it's useful and how to use it. So the first step, it would be downloading Team Telemetry. I have a link in the description to download Team Telemetry. When you get it, you're going to see this window up here. You're going to want to click on Options and then go over to Game Overlays. So Game Overlays, then you're going to want Widget 4 and click the checkbox here. Make it as big as you can, 600 pixels I think is the size, and then Dashboard 1, and then you can adjust the opacity. I like to have it all the way to the right so it's fully solid so you don't see some things behind it. Then you're going to open the game. So when you open a game, you can then go to Settings and go to your telemetry settings. And then here, you'll want to make sure that UDP telemetry is on, broadcast mode is off. UDP IHP, it should already be 127.0.0.1. That's like your self-direct telemetry. So that means it's going to send stuff back to your computer so then it can be displayed on screen for you. 20777, keep that the same. You can do either 30 hertz or 60 hertz. Sometimes it lags a little bit and 30 hertz could be a bit better. So that's nothing to do with the monitor. That's how fast it's sending telemetry to whatever software you're using or if you're sending it to another computer. 2025, you can change your telemetry, keep that unrestricted, show player names off. Next, you'll want to go to display settings. This is a big one. You want windowed full screen display. And then hopefully you'll be able to match the resolution of your current display. It won't look any different. But at this point, then you should see the telemetry opacity tool pop up on screen if you're in time trial or some other mode. If not, hopefully it'll be there and you'll be able to drag it around the screen. It could be on a second monitor. So now that's on the screen, you'll be able to get live telemetry of your inputs in real time. So first thing that it's good to look at is make sure when you're pressing the throttle, it's going to 100%, and that the brake is on 0%. You're getting no brake tracking, and then when you're pressing the brakes, you're getting the brake to 100%, and then when you're releasing the throttle, it goes down to 0. That'd be an easy thing to try to fix. Another thing, great to look at, is going to be how consistent you are in brake pressure. So, like for example, Japan turn 1, you don't want to be putting the brakes down too hard. Sometimes it's very hard to see. There's no way you could be able to see while you're driving and then look down here at the how much brake pressure you're doing mid-corner. This allows you to do a corner the best you can, then look on the exit and see kind of how much brake pressure and everything were you using. How aggressively were you getting on throttle? Did you have to completely back off or go up and down on the throttle? So yeah, it's going to be a game changer in terms of fixing any mistakes that you see, and again, once you find a good corner, you should be able to kind of tune in and be like, okay, I know at this corner I need to press 10% braking, or this corner needs to be 100% braking, and drop it very quickly. Another thing you can do is just practice not even moving. You can go in the neutral and time trial mode and just practice, pressing the brakes hard, getting off the brakes. Do this kind of drop braking technique that's really important in F125. Hard on the brakes. It's not a slow trail brake like it is in some other games. You can also, just practice getting on throttle, doing a throttle jump. Don't getting too slow on throttle. Jump on the throttle. And then modulate to that from like 70% to 100%. Here I'll show you another thing you can do. So if you set up team telemetry and admin settings just as you would engineer a driver, I have a full video on that. You can then actually watch a driver you're engineering or coaching in real time in Discord, and then you can have this overlay on top of it so you can really see what they're doing. So here's an example. One of FER drivers, Sammy Simone. Japan time trial working on braking technique and everything. So you'll see, into turn 1, 10, light modulation on the brakes. Again, it's easy to brake too hard into turn 1, or it's easy to not touch the brakes at all, and then have to do a big spike in braking near this, second apex. Then here you see how he gets nicely on throttle, big throttle jump, and then, it does a bit of a kind of throttle overshoot, I like to call it. Then you have to back off throttle a little bit, and then modulate up to the top. Again, that's a very fast driving style. But then working on, you see a tiny bit of a dip in some of these sections here. Just making sure you're consistent. If you're finding, so there's a 20% brake pressure, that's kind of a lot for that corner, so you can play with it. Do I want to press the brakes 5%, 10%, 20%, and you really get instant feedback and get consistency of how you're driving, especially in time trial where it's the same amount every time. This corner, hard on the brakes, you can drop them really quickly. So the shape was pretty consistent. Again, you see that throttle overshoot technique talked about. Again, this corner, one of the hardest corners, it's getting off, really misses the apex there, but it's that hard braking, dropping the brakes, and then, doing some of that modulation, 20, 30% of throttle brake modulation to then get that rotation into the corner and hopefully hit the apex. Coming up to this double left-hander, another really hard corner on this track. So, you can do a full lift, get back on throttle. Then when you're outside here, you want to make sure that you're tapping the brakes enough to get the car turned in. So, here you may be pressing the brakes a lot, then maybe you should have pressed it a little bit before, because then you have to do another tap on the brakes. But again, the instant feedback and the fact that this instant feedback can now be free, game changer. Before, Racelab's $50. Now this is completely free, and it's using team telemetry, stuff that a lot of other drivers and engineers have already used before. It's just an added feature now in team telemetry. Again, this corner, you can see braking drops the brakes. Again, you would like this braking section to be connected here, just because it shows that you got off the brakes a little early. You need to tap the brakes again. Other than that, that's a really fast lap. It's like a 1:26.6. World record, I think, is a few tenths faster than that. I think that's a top 100 lap. So one more thing. So you saw how you could have the driver, you could have it for yourself in live time. You could saw how you can have it as an engineer. There's a way you can have it as both have the driver and engineer be seeing it. So you'd want the engineer you'd connect the engineer and the coach and the driver together on Radman VPN. You'd want the driver to be the one opening team telemetry. Then you want them to use this copy UDP stream too. So like this top one here, then you want to put the engineer's IP in here. So then you put their IP, their Radman IP in there, this port number here. Then you click the setting, copy UDP stream 2. That way the driver is hosting team telemetry. It's sending the data to the engineer. Then the engineer can then open team telemetry and get the exact same data. And they'll also be able to then open the widget and have the widget open. So hopefully this is really useful in terms of now getting instant feedback to your driving. And I think especially for drivers who are seconds off the pace, it's going to make a big difference in terms of instantly being able to see what you're doing wrong, now for free. Thanks so much for watching. See ya. Bye.